Hello, everyone, and welcome back to a rendered episode of D&E Doodles.
That's right. You get the good art today.
Ooh.
It was render. Not really. This wasn't really a challenge like a lot of our stuff. This was just kind of scenes.
I guess a scenery challenge if you want to call it that.
I wouldn't call it a challenge. So. This one we just kind of were. D was like, let's do scenes, and we did.
Yeah, a lot of our renders I feel like are more character focused, so I wanted to see what we come up with where that is not the focus.
But yeah. So pretty quick. Let us know if you guys want more renders. If you have any ideas, of course, let us know in the comments. But
we'll drop them up.
Yeah, without further ado. Let's go here. So, I'm first.
Ooh.
I looked up, I just went back through my old phone pictures and grabbed random ones I had.
Oh, cool. You did a self-inspired.
Yeah. I like, worry a bit using other people's images of stuff, because, like, there are copyrights on images, and, like, I didn't technically get permission and all that, so, like, I was like, I'm just gonna use my own. If you're not using the photo, but you're just making a drawing of it, depends how heavily inspired it is, because like sometimes I worry I wouldn't be changing it enough if I use someone else's, whereas if it's mine, it's like, oh no,
oh no.
Yeah. So a lot of this was like random pictures. Two of these are just on my way home. It was snowing, and I just thought it looked neat. And then the other two are from Japan. So.
Nice. Yeah, it has like a bucolic little theme here. A nice rural countryside snow.
Yeah. Where we're from, it snows a lot, so I'm very. It's a very nostalgic feeling, a very like lovely feeling to me.
Yeah, we both love the old snow times.
Yeah, I meet so many people like, I hate snow, and I'm like, what?
Like, that's like my favorite time.
Here's me figuring out what I want to do with the sky.
I like the strokes of the brush. It gives the sky a nice like fading hue.
I was trying to like a painting thing.
Yeah.
You know, as always, I try to get out of my comfort zone a lot with a lot of these. So I was like, let me try some new brushes. Anyways, I didn't like it, so I just did a different brush entirely. I went back to my own standard, my cloud brush, as I call it, because that's what I mostly do. I mean, it works out for the most part. Like, I go back to it because it's a good brush. Here's me experimenting with an actual different brush.
Nice. And then there's you hating it.
Yeah, no, I keep the brush. I just like it was too like bright. I felt like for what I was doing, so I kind of stepped back.
This is like a cool time of day for this to be.
Yeah, this was at like sunset, like not quite sunset, like a little bit after sunset.
Like a dusky feel.
Yeah. For those of you who are not, who don't live where it snows, like, there's so many different hues of snow you get with different times of day. And, like, here it's a very brown, it's a very, like, light brown kind of red snow.
Yeah, and then you get, like, dirt spots in there and everything, so it all makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
I was wondering how... I always think, like, when I'm doing these, I always think of how you're gonna do them, just because I know your style so well, and these are definitely not, like, necessarily conducive to your style.
Yeah. It's always an interesting challenge, because, like, I think it's a lot harder for me to get out of my comfort zone than you, just because of how, like, specific my style ends up getting.
Yeah. Whereas I, like, style bend a lot. Like, I'll paint and draw sometimes. I paint a lot, and I draw a lot straight up. So it's like I do different styles already, so then I kind of can just pick one that I like. for that specific prompt, but where I always like to see how you like decide to go about things. And with painting, it's cool because those trees, like, you don't have to really define them because they're in the background and they still give off like a good rendition of trees.
And I put a bunch of trees.
Ooh, you put darker ones.
And then the reverse trees.
Oh, not the reverse tree.
Yeah. That's why I like digital art. I can do that.
Exactly. Yeah, use your tools, as we always say on this show.
For sure.
They're there for a reason. Don't feel like you're cheating because it's digital art. It's
There's
made
no
to
such
make
thing as
things
cheating.
easier. Yeah. And you still have to know what you're doing to a certain extent to make things look good, so.
Yeah. Here I took a nap again, I guess. I don't.
Nice. I'll have some of those in mine as well. Some long naps.
Here's something I actually ended up having to do. I wanted something between these two not really mountain, between these two hills. So I had to kind of copy the front one.
So it's more of like you wanted like just something in the middle.
Yeah.
Oh, I see.
And this was much easier than trying to like painstakingly cut out or erase at an angle.
Yeah. Which I do a lot. I just like do things the hard way for no reason.
You do that
just because I'm already doing it and I'm like into the mood and I'm like, all right, whatever.
So here's where I use only one of the Japanese pictures I had. I didn't use the other one at all. I just pulled it out to not use it.
I'm just getting inspired, you know?
Yeah, that's true.
Is that a satellite dish?
I guess, yeah. I don't know why.
Probably because they're out in the country.
Yeah, I suppose so. I don't know. Like, I feel like satellite probably just isn't as useful at a point.
Yeah, they probably can still get cable.
Yeah.
They probably stream.
Yeah, the question is if you would get internet wherever the heck this is supposed to be.
Yeah. It's actually right on the edge of town. There's just like a huge city right over this hill. Yeah, I'm liking the little house in the back.
Yeah. And I don't know why, but like giving a slight transparency adds a lot to something like this.
Yeah,
like,
that is true.
Yeah. It doesn't make sense, but at the same time, I think it kind of does make sense because of that, like, kind of snow blindness you get with snow. Like, that's what this part is too, is the, like, again, it's hard to explain if you've never, like, been in a snowy area, but, like, snow does kind of have this, like, light constantly around it.
Yeah, it always is reflecting the sun, so that's why they actually recommend, like, if you snowboard and stuff, to put sunscreen on, because you'll get burns on your face, because the sun is constantly just reflecting straight onto you.
Yeah, and goggles, especially.
Yeah, definitely goggles. If you tried to snowboard without goggles, it's not fun.
You'll go blind. Probably really quickly.
I had to clean my goggles one time, because I fell really hard and got snow in them. And I went down like half the mountain without it, and I was like, oh my god, this is why you wear them.
Yeah. It's so bright.
And the freaking wind's just like blasting your eyeballs.
I know.
Like, oh. Ooh, blurry moon?
Yeah, the moon's far away. Once
nice.
again,
And it's
transparency stuff, yeah.
Once again with the tools. I really like the color that you gave the sky.
Yeah, it's like such a very specific color a lot of times in places. Like, you always think of sky being like black, blue, and like orange. But they're like, sunset has like 70 colors, I would say.
Yeah, we get a lot of like
obviously.
we get a lot of purples. Definitely a lot of orange and blue sunsets, but There's always purples. Sometimes you get a really red sunset, which I think is cool.
Yeah.
And this has like that red-brown, like the sun is almost like down already. That's what it like feels like.
Right. Like you got about 10 minutes before you're not going to be able to see anything on your walk home.
Oh, chickens.
Yep, you got it.
The chickens are running through here.
Those are very small chickens, if that's the case.
I thought that was their feet, their little footsteps.
Oh, maybe it can be. I don't know. There's no rule against it.
Some leaves or something.
Mm-hmm.
Some ground dirt. And you're just admiring your work right here.
I think I'm thinking of what I want to do. I was debating this next part that I'm doing, if I wanted to or not.
Yeah, as we do. That's why it's like, sometimes you just gotta say you're done, because sometimes you'll just keep adding at a point that gets unnecessary sometimes, because you think you need stuff, but...
Yeah.
Ooh. A little snowfall.
Something's going on.
It's just the grain of the camera.
It could be. It's just really dirty. Yeah.
Hey, that was a fun inspired image. I think my favorite is the hues in the sky and the trees.
Anyways, you started with this already?
Here I go with perspective.
Whoa. Use your tools, like we say.
Yeah, if you got perspective in mind, and it's hard to do that with just off the top of your head, so use your grids and all that. I went for, I don't know why, when I thought of this challenge, I thought shrines, the gates, always were really cool to me.
Because you're a weeb. Ooh.
Yeah, because I'm a weeb. I like Eastern culture. I think they have cool architecture and art, which inspires a lot of my work, obviously, so... Once again, it inspired me.
Got some nice chairs to sit on.
Yep, some nice shrine benches, as we do. Just filling here. So yeah, I started at the shrine with this, just because that was my main inspiration to start this piece. And one specific shrine that I referenced, I think it starts with an N.
Nagito?
I think it is Nagato. It's on the water. It's really cool. It's like very shallow water, and there's a bunch of shrines that it's like called the Walk of something. I don't know, but
the Walk of Shame.
Yeah, that's where you go after a bad night. You walk through those shrines and pray for forgiveness. But the shrine itself, that was what it inspired by, and it basically is the exact same design as that shrine. I just think they're really cool. So
with the very unsymmetrical top and all that.
Yeah, it has that weird like lip at the other end. Yeah, I don't know why. I was like, whoa, what is that one? I'm gonna draw that.
Wood.
Yeah, they're like, damn it, Jeffrey! I told you we needed exactly this amount of wood.
He's like, I don't know. It was symmetrical at a point, but someone accidentally cut off one end.
And they're like, wait a minute, you may be onto something here. So yeah, I'm just texturing here. I usually use like 4 brushes that I like. There's like a really rough one. And they're all pretty like painterly, like rough brushes. I just like that look. So I use that. And then I'm just doing some nice wood texturing and kind of bringing out the edges so it's more prominent. Like the light necessarily wouldn't do that or make sense, but sometimes you gotta take your liberties just to make it look cool.
Just make up stuff. That's what they never tell you about art. You can just make it up.
Yeah, if you got some knowledge of art and make it look not weird, people won't question it usually, so... I did that. I just made the borders kind of darker so it stands out more. And then, kind of shading where light would go. The bottoms would be darker with a top-down sort of light source. But Yeah, you'll see that overall this is it turns to be a lot like a dark kind of mood piece, so the lighting doesn't matter as much because everything's kind of hazy and dark. So I didn't go like too crazy obsessing over that. I just kind of brought some more like wood highlights, because wood's a bunch of different colors and textures in any light, honestly, just because there's so many ridges and everything. So doing the lights, some nice light, bunch of lines. We love it. This is probably, well, I don't even know. I don't even know what took the longest on this. It was a journey of a piece, generally. Took me a few days, multiple hours. But this was one of those ones where you get in the zone, and I never felt like burdened by working on it. I just had a lot of fun.
And then the second.
And then I painted all of those by hand so fast.
Yeah. He forgot to record, that's what happened.
Yeah, used my tools again. Some perspective here just to make sure the ground makes sense with how the like distance and everything. Making some dirt. And then bush. Here is bush. And rock. So the theme of this, kind of what I was thinking, is like this is like some hidden area that you stumbled upon after coming out of like some bushy area. I don't really know. Like a tall hedge area, maybe like some kind of labyrinth. Like you're like on a quest to find this forbidden shrine that everyone talks about. And here's an example of hater art when I draw all these leaves and I'm like, this looks dumb. Erase. And then I'm like, oh, I can't undo that far. Blend. But then I was like, hey, blend actually looks pretty cool for bush. Let's do more. So I added some just bush texture. That's what's fun about painting, is like you always think things are harder than they are to make. But really it's just like loose shapes, and then if you add like texture to it, it defines itself kind of. Here I'm doing mountain background. Give a nice feel
of the land.
Yeah, and I was like, what if this is like a mysterious hidden shrine, right? So it's probably foggy.
That's as soon as you get in, giant fog rolls.
Yeah, that's kind of how I thought about it, actually, is once you enter this area, it just is like you're in almost another world. Like you're stepping into somewhere you shouldn't be, definitely. A world untouched by time. Who built these shrines? That's for you to decide. There, I'm just doing rocks. This is where I was like playing with the lighting, and then I was looking at a bunch of images of fog, like foggy pictures and drawings that people have done. And they don't do really, there's not really shadows that get cast in a fog. I just did very basic, only like small shadows where it's actually contacting the ground. But if you look at a lot of like foggy pictures and stuff, nothing really casts a large shadow unless there's a huge like sun coming out or something. And I thought it brought the whole mood of the piece together just to be really foggy and kind of dreamy. And this was my favorite part.
Eggs.
Snake. I was like, ooh, what if there's a reason you're not supposed to be here? It's because it's guarded by some serpent being. Lost.
Snake, though.
Yeah. This is me struggling to see if I wanted to give it a tongue. And then I was like, nah. A little glow on the eye, a little more fog, a little dark. Just wanted this to be like a really mystical, mystifying type of painting. So making everything like kind of out of focus because you're entering this, so you're kind of like, obviously the shrines are your main focal point and all that other stuff is way in the distance in the fog. Yeah, so kind of that feel to it. And here's me struggling to write Japanese letters because they're really hard and they have very strange line weight that I cannot for the life of me replicate with the tools I have. So.
Yeah, it's made for ink, so
yeah, so that's the best you got is these. Sorry to any Japanese watchers. I know they probably aren't even real letters at this point, or characters. Sorry. And then here's me doing things that I don't keep because I don't know why I still felt like this at the end. I just felt like the bottom part needed like another element to it because it's so like empty. But then I just like gave up on all my ideas. I was like, you know what? That's not really the focus anyways of this piece. Your eyes kind of go straight to the shrines and then to the background with those big snake monster.
Right.
And if this is like a forbidden place, it probably is barren and empty. Like no one goes there, so. I was like, you know what? That's good. That works. And there's my little shrine haven.
Nice.
I actually thought this was one of my better paintings I've done. So, as I say most of the time on these, I really liked this. I love a good exercise of the arts and style challenge and all of that. And it gives me excuses to paint stuff I would have probably painted anyways.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I thought this was really cool. I thought yours was really cool and homey. Very calming.
Yeah. Different.
Yeah, mine's pretty menacing.
Different sides of the coin, you know?
Mine's like a Sekiro boss or something.
Well, yeah.
Those are really fun.
Yeah, thanks everyone for watching. Remember to like, comment, subscribe, all that jazz. And if you don't, we'll beat you up. So.
If you don't, the snake monster from the mountain's gonna get you.
Yeah. Thanks for watching.
See you next time.